KidNuz fans, tired of advertisements? We get it, but we also have to keep the lights on. There's a way around them, though. Parents can join Starglow Plus on Apple Podcasts or at starglowmedia.com/subscribe to ditch the commercials and unlock access to future bonus episodes and other exclusive content from the Starglow Media Network. That's Starglow Plus on Apple Podcasts or at starglowmedia.com/subscribe. Now, on to the news. Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Kim. Today is Monday, April 15th, 2024, tax day in the U.S. and also the 128th running of the Boston Marathon. And we begin with Nike not quite clearing the hurdle of public opinion with its new round of Olympic uniforms. Specifically, its designs for the U.S. women's track and field team. One option in particular struck a nerve. It looks like a one-piece bathing suit with high-cut bottoms. More appropriate, the Wall Street Journal notes, for Baywatch than for the world's top athletes competing on the world's biggest stage. Social media labeled the uniform disrespectful, with one user posting, "When you run out of fabric after designing the men's kit." It's not the first such backlash. At the Tokyo Games, German gymnasts competed in full-body unitards to protest the sport's historically skimpy outfits, and the Norwegian beach handball team ditched required bikini bottoms in favor of unsanctioned shorts. When they were fined, singer Pink publicly offered to pay it. In that case, all the negative attention worked. The international federation that made the rules soon changed them. It's still early days, but the race for the White House is neck and neck. According to a new report from the New York Times and Siena College, nationwide, voters are split 46% for former President Donald Trump and 45% for current President Joe Biden. That tie could be broken with debates, but so far, neither candidate has pledged to participate. Major news organizations are trying to end the standoff and yesterday penned an open letter to both, asking them to publicly commit to televised showdowns ahead of the election, which falls on Tuesday, November 5th, just 203 days from now. Before Mr. Trump can give an answer to the networks, he'll need to answer to a judge. This morning, when he shows up to court in New York City, he'll make history as the first former president to go on trial for criminal charges. He's accused of falsifying records to hide payments he allegedly made to keep an embarrassing story from going public just before the 2016 election. Mr. Trump denies any wrongdoing. The case is expected to last about a month, and he'll need to be present every day. Last week, we told you about a whale in need off the coast of Northern California. It's tangled in a net, and rescuers hope to find and help it this week. A similar scenario is also unfolding near Cape Cod, Massachusetts, where a North Atlantic right whale was spotted from the air with rope coming out of both sides of its mouth. The whale was about 50 miles offshore, too far for crews to reach it immediately. But the Provincetown-based Center for Coastal Studies has alerted its network of whale watchers to help locate it again so they can move in for a rescue. Unlike the whale on the West Coast, this one is said to be in pretty good condition. The rope isn't wrapped around its body, and it's still able to feed. The turf war between two neighboring airports is heating up. As the crow flies, Oakland International and San Francisco International are only 11 miles apart, but SFO is much better known and unmistakably associated with the San Francisco Bay Area. Oakland port officials want in on that recognizability and just voted to change their airport's name to San Francisco Bay Oakland International Airport. It's a mouthful, but backers say it'll let more flyers know that their city is an option for Bay Area visitors. San Francisco officials are livid, saying their cross-Bay rival is trying to confuse flyers and stepping on their naming rights. A lawsuit is in the works. As San Francisco's city attorney said in an interview, imitation is the highest form of flattery, except when it infringes on one's trademark. In a few hours, all eyes will again be on Caitlin Clark. The shooting sensation from Iowa is expected to go first in tonight's WNBA draft and likely to the Indiana Fever. In anticipation, ticket prices for the Fever's opening game have hit a feverish pitch. up 91% since Caitlyn declared for the draft, according to ticket reseller Vivid Seats. And StubHub, one of the world's largest online ticket brokers, says overall sales for Fever tickets are 13 times higher than they were last season. Also in demand, Caitlin Clark trading cards. Expert on the subject, Ty Fauci, told USA Today no women's basketball player has ever had a collectibles market like Caitlyn's prior to professional play or at this stage of their careers. Still to come, how Caitlyn's fan club expanded to include fictional soccer coach Ted Lasso. But first, today's KidNuz quiz. Nike is in hot water over new uniforms for which group of U.S. Olympic athletes? Women's track and field. News outlets in the U.S. are trying to pressure Joe Biden and Donald Trump into what? Participating in televised debates. A whale off the coast of Rhode Island has what in its mouth? Rope. Rescuers hope to reach it this week. What team is expected to pick Caitlin Clark first in tonight's draft? The Indiana Fever. In today's KidNuz Kicker, an A-list actor and the character he plays has leaned in hard on the Caitlyn hype. On Friday, while receiving the Wooden Award for Most Valuable College Player, Caitlyn was also given her own personal AFC Richmond jersey from the hit show Ted Lasso, and it was delivered by none other than the actor who portrays the coach, Jason Sudeikis. His Caitlyn fandom isn't new. Mr. Sudeikis has been cheering on the NC2A's newest star from the stands all season long. Before we go, shout-outs to our KidNuz classrooms, including Ms. De La Motte and her Cougars at Cuesta in Mountain House, California. Mrs. Stein and her Panthers at Edmiston Central in Edmiston, New York. And Mrs. Pawlowski, who sends a lion's roar to her students at Lions Park in Mount Prospect, Illinois. Thanks for listening. Please rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll see you back here for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.